Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special episode of
Random Coaster Soundtrack.
Now, what makes this episode special, you ask? Well, for the month of June, since I was born in June, I figured I would cover rides that I share a birthday with. Unfortunately, there's only two, so for this episode, we've decided we're gonna go with Full Throttle at Six Flags Magic Mountain. So, let's get to our genre wheel and see what it gives us. Here we are at the genre wheel. Let's see what it gives us. Well, I guess it really is a birthday episode because I get to choose the genre. Alright, I'll see you guys in Ableton and let's figure this whole thing out. Alright, using the official POV from Magic Mountain, I have mapped out where all the important bits are. I will be using the genre that I love doing so much. We're going back to orchestral drum and bass. That stuff is super fun to write, and it fits this ride and the name Full Throttle to a T. So we're gonna go with that genre. We've already picked our tempo of 135, so I will see you back when we have some drums and probably a bass line down. Okay, so I've got my drums laid down. We did end up giving it a bit of a tempo increase. We are now at 157. And I've got my drum and bass drums going all throughout with different breaks here and there and white noise as cymbals just because it fits the vibe. And we will not be going 100% to the end of the ride since none of the POVs actually cover that far. They all just stop after the break run. So we're just going to basically give it a big impact on that break run and call it a day. So my drum beat kind of sounds pretty simple. It's this. There's the beat. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. My plan is to do a bunch of stuff around it. It is built around a simple drum and bass pattern, and then I've got my own drums that I recorded as the top part. So I'll come back to you when I got a bass line. Alright, so not only have I done the bass line, I've done all the electronic elements that I feel like adding for now. Maybe when I add a melody with the strings and orchestra parts, I'll have a synth that doubles it, but for now, we've just got this simple bass line that kind of doubles itself and manipulates itself to fit in with the actual track sequencing. So yeah, you can hear I've got a little bit of that, like, kind of manipulating itself and changing the loop around so that it fits to that big, giant first vertical loop. And then I've got a few other elements here. Got a nice arpeggiator going on there, and then a big, wide pad, because you can never go wrong with a pad in this kind of genre. So next up, my plan is to hit some orchestral instruments. Thinking a lot of fast string ostinatos would work really well for the frantic pace of this attraction. So I will see you guys when that is done. Alright, so here we are a full day later. I've added the entirety of the string section that I want to put. I've kind of gone a little more versatile this time, so our violins here are handled by my usual Century Ensemble stuff. Same with the violas and cellos, but I've added in some stuff from the Project Sam Free Orchestra, namely their string risers here and the short strings for an ostinato. Also, I'm using the VSL violin runs for little shots here and there that just kind of happen to follow the track. So overall, what we've got for the opening is just kind of following that bass line, but built around the orchestra. Right, we got a little bit of a kind of a tension builder before that second launch. And then our violins take the melody here, which I'm going to double with brass. Maybe also a synth, we will see. But that'll all be discovered in the next check-in. At long last, I have added the brass. I have done all the mixing and post-production. So I'm just going to walk you through it, and then we will play the final track. So I've kind of grouped everything under its own like-minded groups, right? We've added our brass section, which is my usual mixture of Century Ensemble and the BBC Symphony Orchestra Discover. The brass parts are just kind of following that melody there that we kind of set up in the strings at the end, but we've harmonized it a bit with the French horns, and that harmony does not appear anywhere else. The trumpet and other brass is just kind of staccato notes that follow what the strings are doing, so they just kind of make everything pop and are bright. Our effects chain is the same as it was, just grouped everything. On here, very simple, final production, quick and dirty master. Put it on the small speaker, since if this was to play on the ride, it'd be playing from a small speaker. And then just a little bit of compression here, side chaining to our electronic MIDI drums as opposed to the drum sample. And that's about it as far as the actual production goes. Here are my mixing levels, and I've obviously sent the orchestra most through the concert hall reverb. So, without further ado, this is Full Throttle. And there we go, yet another episode in the books. I did enjoy doing this one. It kind of felt like a birthday present to get a composer's choice on the month of my birthday. So I had a lot of fun with that, and Full Throttle has kind of always felt like it needed onboard audio just because of how intense parts of it are. So it's nice to finally fulfill that. Let's see what we get next month on Random Coaster Soundtrack. Keep on writing and keep on riding.